Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, millions of Californians participate in the Great California Shakeout. We'll show you how various groups respond to the statewide drill.
Plus, these working women share their reasons for working in public service.
And we'll tell you how to keep your Halloween scary and safe.
Then we'll bring you some moonlight magic on the marsh. These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now.
Hello everyone and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. Today we're coming to you from Fire Station 2 near the Torrance Airport.
The fire department, along with several other city departments, businesses, and organizations all recently participated in the Great California Shakeout. The Shakeout is a drill that gives everyone in California the chance to practice life-saving techniques during and after a simulated 9.0 earthquake.
And now we're bringing you team coverage of various aspects of the Shakeout drill. Let's start out at a local middle school. Reporter Ravelle Dominique is standing by with some anxious students. Ravelle?
Hi, yes, we're at the 6th grade class at the Madrona Middle School, where the kids are eagerly counting down to 10:21. Are you guys ready? Yeah! The 6th through 8th graders began preparing at the start of the school year. The Great California Shakeout is actually the second earthquake drill they have done since September. Students like Britny Jumalon are ready. Do you feel like you're ready for that earthquake?
Yeah, I think we're all ready.
But the students weren't the only ones benefiting from these drills on 10/21. The teachers say they want the practice.
Our main focus is to try to prepare for the unknowns. We've trained all of our staff and we've divided people, the staff have different responsibilities.
And it's not just seeking cover. Students also learn what to do after a quake strikes.
Our teacher tells us to evacuate, and then we go to the grass area or the blacktop area over there.
Now I'm standing outside at the evacuation site where the kids would normally come out for the second half of the drills. Unfortunately, due to inclement weather over the past few days, they did an abridged version. I'm Ravelle Dominique, back to you in the studio.
And the students at Madrona Middle School are very prepared since they participate in an emergency preparedness drill every month.
Now, children and seniors may be the most vulnerable groups in the event of a natural disaster. Now let's go out to Christy Capik, who's reporting from Coleman Courts, a senior housing facility. Christy?
Jin, imagine being on the 3rd story in a high-rise or even higher when a natural disaster like an earthquake strikes. Then imagine being either a senior, partially disabled, or even in a wheelchair.
Donna Miller, 305. She's our monitor. Don't mark her. 307. Hospital.
Coleman Court started its drill at 10:21 on the dot.
I've been doing earthquake programs now for probably 20 years. That's no matter how prepared you are, there are always going to be people that panic. But if you can get those few people that you have trained to help others is basically the key.
And after a brief meeting, building manager Betty D'Erico made sure her hall monitors were in place to help others with their exit strategy.
We have a lady here that's a double amputee.
Thanks to volunteer hall monitors like Margaret O'Brien, wheelchair residents like Ophelia Nadarcy can prepare to exit the building or know to lock, bend, and cover.
It's a big job trying to get everything coordinated so it'll work smoothly.
Hall monitors are trained to go door to door carrying information on residents so they know who they're responsible to help. And the residents exited quickly carrying their earthquake packs. Some even traveled down 3 flights of stairs, ending in a safe and rewarding evacuation.
At Thomas Safran & Associates, we look to prepare our residents as best as possible for emergency situations.
Along with having hall monitors and knowing the building plan, residents are given a checklist so they know what other supplies to supplement their kit with beyond the basics.
Personal information, things like their, the types of prescriptions they're on, a copy of their medical card, their insurance card, any emergency contact information.
I take 10 prescriptions, so I don't want to be without those.
Afterward, building participants filled out questionnaires and even enjoyed some snacks.
Participating in our 3rd annual Shakeout California drill. Give yourselves a big hand of applause. You did a fabulous job.
It went excellent. We had a very good orientation last week, explaining to us just what to expect.
Awareness is the first step for everyone, no matter how old, and preparedness is the key. And I'm hoping everybody does that.
Experts also suggest that seniors have extra batteries for hearing aids and a list of doctors and medication in emergency kits.
Companies that manufacture their products right here in Torrance would face different problems if an earthquake strikes during working hours. Reporter Faun Kime is at one drill where employees feel they continually need the practice. Faun?
That's right. I'm here at 3Bond, a company that was established in Japan. Now, Japan is no stranger to earthquakes, so 3Bond takes earthquakes and this drill very seriously.
It's hard to imagine violent shaking in such a systematized, tightly run ship. But preparing for the unimaginable is a priority for this international company's Torrance plant, where 40 employees hope they're ready for the big one.
Earthquake preparedness is important to 3Bond because it's part of overall safety of our people and our facilities.
But as seriously as 3Bond takes their preparedness, at the moment of the earthquake drill, a few problems were exposed. Where electronic speakers failed, human lungs succeeded. And employees soon responded with duck, hold, cover. Though one industrious employee couldn't tear himself away from his work. But eventually, everyone complied and filed out in an orderly fashion when it was announced the earthquake had ended. When roll call revealed a missing employee, designated first responders jumped into search and rescue mode, and 3Bond's preparedness began to shine.
Carlos, I'm missing Carlos. Don't move, Carlos.
The first responders bravely removed the boxes from Carlos and gingerly assisted him out. With Carlos safe and an acting award secure, plant manager Ed Weiss went on to educate and motivate the employees. Weiss is happy his employees are so engaged, but believes one drill per year is not enough.
I don't think anybody's actually ready for the big one, not anybody in Southern California. We talk about it, but we're not ready.
But everyone agreed. Today was a step in the right direction.
As a result of this drill, are you going to go out and get some items and become better prepared?
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. In fact, I was just talking to my coworker and we were talking about it, and we were saying we really don't know when it's going to happen. So to be safe and be sure, we got to have something in the car, here, like what Ed said, at home.
Now, 3Bond has donated tens of thousands of dollars to every earthquake in 2010, including Haiti, Chile, and the Qinghai province in China. So it's been a very busy year for earthquakes. Back to you, Ben and Jen.
And in a warehouse, shelves should be bolted to the floor and anchored with steel bars to walls and ceilings. Goods should be stored carefully with heavier items on lower shelves.
Right after a major disaster strikes, the phones at various city departments start to ring. Reporter Adam Baxter is at the Torrance Police Department to find out how the city responds. Adam?
Thank you, Ben and Jen. I'm at the EOC, or Emergency Operations Center. This is where all department heads come together to deal with the emergencies that you actually see over my right shoulder. It's a list of all the calls that have come in, from a train derailment to sinkholes, car accidents. Everything comes here, and all rescue operations and emergency operations are coordinated from here. Take a look.
Personnel to fix this road.
That looks like a 1.
Lieutenant Mark Athan runs the Situation Room. After the earthquake, all emergency calls come to this central location.
All of our information is being fed from the field. So we're not only receiving calls into the police department from citizens related to the 911 calls and the emergencies that they're involved in.
Calls are logged into the computer, which then gets posted onto the emergency board. Once that information hits the board in the EOC, the appropriate department responds.
This is the center for all operations of the city as a whole. We have the operations section here, which includes fire, police, and public works. Those are the 3 primary entities.
For us, in reality, we respond to emergencies on a daily basis anyways, and so this is just a different way to test things out.
We need to have somebody.
Mayor Frank Scotto came by to observe the nearly 50 people working the first of 2 shifts.
They've been giving them scenarios of things happening throughout the city, and they're reacting to them perfectly. And it's just, it's pretty nice to know that we are prepared in Torrance.
And if mistakes are made, they should be made during a drill like this.
We're trying to identify that if there's any breakdowns in our communication or with any of our equipment or any personnel, that we identify it here in a drill and not get caught in a real life scenario.
If there were a real emergency, you could head to your local branch library, as they are all designated disaster centers. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Adam Baxter. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Adam. And nearly 8 million people participated in the Great California Shakeout this year. For more information on emergency preparedness, go to shakeout.org.
Coming up after the break, we'll tell you how to keep safe during the upcoming scary holiday.
But first, here's a look at the current temperature outside.